Hello, we're still in John chapter 8, verse 31. To the Jews who had believed him, Jesus said, "If you hold to my teaching, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." That was the NIV, but the King James Version made me realize something interesting. It says, "If you abide in my word." Abide is related to abode, which is where you live. So Jesus is saying that you need to live the truth, not just know it. Cool, but of course the Pharisees and some of the crowd take it the wrong way. They answered him, "We are Abraham's descendants and have never been slaves of anyone. How can you say that we shall be set free?" I don't really have an answer for that one. It seems unlikely that they would forget about the Egyptians, the Philistines, the Babylonians, the Persians, the Syrians, and the Romans. I have no idea. But I suppose that one could be so prideful that you throw away reality to keep your pride intact. Not a healthy habit. Let's read on. Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth. Everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Now, a slave has no permanent place in the family, but a son belongs to it forever. So if the son sets you free, you will be free indeed. I know you are Abraham's descendants, yet you are ready to kill me because you have no room for my word. I am telling you what I have seen in the Father's presence, and you do what you have heard from your father. Sin can be your master. I think we all know that from experience. Sin can own you. And a slave couldn't be legally set free until the right master made it so. That's what he's saying. Jesus bought us from the forces of evil and then set us free from that master. But don't forget that he did it to welcome us into his family. If you leave his family, then you go back to the old master. Jesus is the only master that won't lead you astray, but others will. "Abraham is our father," they answered. "If you were Abraham's children," said Jesus, "then you would do the things Abraham did. As it is, you are determined to kill me, a man who has told you the truth that I heard from God. Abraham did not do such things. You are doing the things your own father does." "We are not illegitimate children," they protested. "The only father we have is God himself." Jesus said to them, "If God were your father, you would love me, for I came from God and now am here. I have not come on my own, but he sent me. Why is my language not clear to you? Because you are unable to hear what I say. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Yet because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Can any of you prove me guilty of sin? If I am telling the truth, why don't you believe me? He who belongs to God hears what God says. The reason you do not hear is that you do not belong to God." It's just like that one meme.
Well, why you boring me? I'm right.
There's not a whole lot to say. They have made their master the master of evil. There's another one.
Only a master of evil does.
When you believe in the wrong master, then you believe his lies, then you make wrong accusations, then wrong decisions. All evidence was pointing to that Jesus was the good guy, but they didn't want to believe him. The Jews answered him, "Aren't we right in saying that you are Samaritan and demon-possessed?" "I am not possessed by a demon," said Jesus, "but I honor my Father and you dishonor me. I am not seeking glory for myself, but there is one who seeks it, and he is the judge. I tell you the truth, if anyone keeps my word, he will never see death." At this the Jews exclaimed, "Now we know that you are demon-possessed. Abraham died, and so did the prophets. Yet you say that if anyone keeps your word, he will never taste death. Are you greater than our father Abraham? He died, and so did the prophets. Who do you think you are?" One could say they were too literal, but the fact that sin is death isn't exactly a metaphor either. Jesus was offering literal life. The next passage has a mic drop that I enjoy, so let's read it. Jesus replied, "If I glorify myself, my glory means nothing. My Father, whom you claim as your God, is the one who glorifies me. Though you do not know him, I know him. If I said I did not, I would be a liar like you, but I do know him and keep his word. Your father Abraham rejoiced at the thought of seeing my day. He saw it and was glad." "You are not yet 50 years old," the Jews said to him, "and you have seen Abraham?" "I tell you the truth," Jesus answered. "Before Abraham was born, I am." At this they picked up stones to stone him, but Jesus hid himself, slipping away from the temple grounds. I love moments like that. It seems impossible to claim that Jesus never said he was God. He knows God, and God glorifies him. He existed before any human ever did. And of course, the amazing icing on the cake was claiming he was the I Am. That is a very sacred term for God. Heck, it probably would have made less of an impact if he said, "Yeah, I'm God," but he said, "I am." You know it's what he said because it's not even grammatically correct. Because I am isn't just a term, it's a name for the one and only God. I imagine with a claim like that, there was no hesitation. Everybody just started picking up rocks. Their only hesitation might have been finding the sharpest ones. But God protected Jesus. Here's what I'd like to end it on. It seems that the Pharisees and the crowd might start out righteously. Probably not that day, but probably a year ago. The truth is, God is sacred, and saying wrong things about God is probably the worst sin you can commit. So it would seem innocent, since they're just defending God. But they stopped being righteous at a point, and I think that maybe some weren't righteous at any point. And that point was when Jesus condemned them. Then it was no longer about God, it was about their pride. And I don't know about you, but I don't want Jesus to look at me the way he looked at them. So guys, we have to stop being prideful. And that's extremely hard, and I don't have the best answers for how to do that. I definitely struggle with it. But where did they start? They defended God. If they stuck with that, then they'd be fine. So just believe in God, for God, with God, and you'll be going on the right path. Thanks, guys.